I want to go back to something that Mrs. Saionji said at the beginning of our gathering here. She talked about prefixed ideas. I think this is very important to be aware of prefixed ideas because something has happened in the last few decades that have made almost every idea that we have prefixed. And a prefixed idea is a confinement. It's a prison. And so if we explore questions that are based on these prefixed ideas, we stay in the confinement. So what I want to suggest is that it is a good time now to explore beyond the prefixed ideas. And in order to do that, it's necessary to begin to identify them and how they came into being. I will suggest that an unprecedented transformation in human consciousness has occurred and is occurring full force. And it is expanding our perception beyond the limitations of the five senses, so that we now are beginning to see our lives, ourselves, our world, and the universe in entirely different ways. And old questions cannot begin to describe these. Our understanding of power has changed. Our understanding of who we are has changed. Our understanding of male and female, everything has changed. What could it be, this tremendous transformation in human consciousness that is happening at lightning speed from an evolutionary perspective? What would it feel like? What would it be like? So I have a poem. I can't sit and read this poem. It's written by the Spanish poet Juan Ramon Jimenez. And Juan Ramon says this: I am not I. I am this one, walking beside me, whom I do not see, whom at times I manage to visit, and whom at other times I forget, who remains calm and silent while I talk, and forgives gently when I hate, who walks where I am not, who will remain standing when I die. Thanks to this multi-sensory human, Juan Ramon Jimenez, he begins to show us what it's like to be in this new world, beyond prefixed ideas, where power is no longer the ability to manipulate and to control, but the alignment of ourselves, our personalities, the temporary vehicles we have between birth and death with the highest, most noble, immortal parts of ourselves. In the West, we call it a soul. You call it whatever fits you, but it is that part that longs for harmony, cooperation, sharing, and reverence for life, and creates it. So, Wendy and Steve started off by reminding us that we know that everything is non-dual. That we do. But how many of us experience it? That is beginning as hundreds of millions of us become multisensory. And in this new world of multisensory perception, everything is changing. A new male is replacing the old male. A new female is replacing the old female. The old male is fulfilled by providing and protecting. The old female is fulfilled by bearing and raising children. But both the new male and the new female are free now to pursue any direction that their interest and aptitudes take them. When I first began to write about this 30 years ago in The Seat of the Soul, I had to look around to see new males and new females. Now I have to be blind not to see them. Females who are heading countries and flying airplanes, who are doing construction work, who are attorneys, who are etc. You understand all that. Males who are tender, sensitive, intuitive. They care for the young, the sick, and you see that too. All of that is happening. And we can't balance male and female, masculine and feminine as though it were grains of rice. The issue is not balance. The issue is wholeness. And the question is, how do we attain wholeness? It's not by looking at ourselves as wounded. Every time I look at myself as wounded, I find that I've become a victim and someone else has become a villain. Power is now the alignment of the personality with the soul. So how can we say, how do love and power fit together? Love is power. Where love is, power is not. Where the ability and the will to manipulate and control is, love is not. And so I also accept Mrs. Saionji's suggestion that I not strive for answers right now, but to express in the best way I can the questions that are most relevant to me and, in my perception, relevant not only to us individually, but to all of our collectives.